I find it useful to understand Node's HTTP module itself before using Express. Express is really a wrapper around the Node core HTTP module. The HTTP modules in Node can actually be used as both client and a server. We bring them in by importing HTTP or HTTPS. These are core modules, so we do not need to npm install them. Let me first show you how we can use these modules as clients. We can use the request method, or if we're just doing a GET request, we can use the GET method. For example, let's read the content of lynda.com. We do https.get lynda.com. We're using HTTPS here because the URL is HTTPS. If the URL was HTTP, we would use the HTTP module instead. And the callback for this GET method receives a response stream. We can read methods like status code on this stream, and we can listen for data events on that stream. Every event will give us a chunk buffer, so we can read its content with a toString call. To test this, we can babel node the file, and let's pipe the output on less to paginate it because it's going to be big. We get a 200 OK and the HTML of Lynda's homepage. Now let's see how to use the HTTP module as a server. After we import it, we use the create server call to create a server, no surprise there, and then use the listen method to run the server on a certain port. Create server gives us an event emitter object which we can subscribe to. The most important emitted event is the request event, which gets emitted every time the HTTP server receives a request. The callback for this event receives two special objects, a request object and a response object. The user initiating the request will see anything we write to the response object, while we can use the request object to read things from the request. For example, what URL was requested, were there any query string parameters with the request, and many other things. Let's write a simple hello HTTP string back to the requester. The response object is a writable stream, which means we can use it to stream data to the user, and that's extremely powerful. Let's write another line to the user after 3 seconds using a timer like this. And after that, let's go ahead and terminate the stream response with a .end call. Run the server with babel node server. When we initiate a request for this server, we'll first get the hello HTTP line, and after 3 seconds, we'll get the I can stream line. Then the response gets terminated. We can supply the request event listener callback as the argument for create server itself. A node will automatically attach the argument to the request event. As you can see, the core HTTP module is extremely powerful on its own, and it's very simple to set up a server with it. However, as the requirement for handling a request grows, using the core module on its own would be hard, as there will be a lot of boilerplate code that can be extracted into a framework type library. This is why we have Express.js and many other similar options, but Express is the most popular one. So in the next movie, we'll go ahead and learn the basics of Express.js.